How to use your bar joists in PractiCAD. Bar joists are parametric entities that are provided to you that can be modified and used from job to job. They work virtually identical to steel with the exception of some of the parameters are different and the hold points are different. So in the following tutorials we're going to show you how to utilize those parameters and those hold points. Here what we've got is we've selected a bar joist from our architectural bin. And what we've got is the window open for the item box and the elevation box. Notice that when I grabbed a bar joist, the bar tab is automatically depressed in the item box. Here we've got a bar joist on the right. We're looking at it in front view, and we're going to go over the parameters. You can see here that we have a top chord length. The top chord length is actually the distance from this edge of the bar joist to this edge. And the bottom chord length, of course, is the distance from the bottom corner here to the other bottom corner. Now what chord delta is the difference between the two. Here you can see that as I change chord delta, it's actually going to modify the difference between the top chord and the bottom chord. If you subtract these two numbers, you're going to get the chord delta. In other words, if we measure the distance from this portion of the bar joist, from the top of it, it's upside down at the moment, to the bottom of it, and then we added the distance from these two on both sides, that would give us the chord delta. There's 118 inches. If we divided that in two, we had half of that distance between this point here and this point, and then we'd have it on the other side. So the chord delta is simply the top chord length minus the bottom chord length. We've got bearing length. That just adjusts the size of the bearings. I'm just rolling with the wheel mouse to make them larger or smaller. You've got joist width. That is actually the width of the joist. You cannot see it in this view. We'll change it in a second. Joist depth, you can see that's simply going to be the depth of the joist itself. You'll notice that the webbing is going to automatically adjust based on formulas that were inputted into this parametric bar joist. If the bar joist you're using will not suit your needs, please call Metal Lab in order to get another one added for you. And last we have seat depth. Seat depth is simply going to control the depth of the seat. You can see as we make it larger and smaller, it's going to adjust the depth. And as always, we have the location and special instruction parameters. The next thing different about bar joists is the hold points. Bar joists have hold points that you can adjust just like steel. What we're going to do is go into the architectural bin and we're going to select a bar joist and we're going to come into the bar tab in the item box and we're going to choose hold by top center. Just like in steel, you got top center bottom, left center right. We have the same thing for bar joists. The only difference is that the top center for bar joist is actually right where the crosshairs are on the right isometric view. It's actually at the top center of the seat. The center, if we go down one notch on the z-axis to center would be the bottom of the seat. And the last hold point you would need to know would be the bottom center. And when you hold a bar joist by the bottom center, PractiCAD is actually holding that entity by a hold point, which we're going to represent with these lines. If we drew a line across the plane from the bottom chord and the top chord center, right where they crossed, you can see it on the left, right at that point where they cross would be holding this by the bottom center. So we can place it by any of these hold points. You also notice that these hold points will show up in the elevation box when you're drawing as well. We're going to grab a bar joist from our bin, and you can see right here that we've got the top, center, and bottom of the bar joist, and you can see that the top center and center are just the top and bottom of the seat, so they're only 6 inches apart. And of course that would be the seat depth, which is 6 inches. So we can also adjust these on the fly. The last thing inside the box would be the slope parameters. Please see the tutorials on the rise and run slope for steel. They are identical in bar joists.